welcome to Social Media Weekly, episode 24th October 2019. Social Media Weekly is brought to you by Virtual Peddlers Marketing, the digital marketing agency that helps small businesses go digital. My name is Sean.
And I'm JK.
This week, Instagram will soon let us control third-party apps access. LinkedIn launched somewhat competitor to Eventbrite. Zuck raises questions about China's internet censorship. Facebook expands Facebook Watch to Europe. Twitter considering a 24-hour tweet function. Facebook removes grey tick for pages. And Facebook's new page metrics will cause your numbers to drop.
Okay.
Back to the stories. Instagram will soon let us control third-party apps access. This is the kind of feature that's already available on Facebook, Google, and Twitter for a while now. It shows actually all the third-party apps that have access to our app and lets us revoke access if we want to. If you ever use apps that change your face or pin all the places you've been in the world map, or maybe play little games, right? By using these features, apps, and functions, you actually allow a third-party provider access to a lot of your data. They include images and videos, captions, timestamps, and more. So they actually provide these free services to you in exchange for your behavior, and they actually use your behavior to sell it to other people. That's how they make money.
Okay.
So on Facebook, Google, and Twitter, there are already settings that let us see every single third-party app that has access and what kind of access to our user information, and we can actually revoke them. So the funny thing is Instagram has never had it, maybe because it has always been a very simple platform. And they just made a commitment to implement this system-wide, and they say that it will take 6 months to apply this implementation.
Okay.
So coming from a company
That has already have it.
that already have it, Facebook already had it. They're one of the first few ones that had it. I don't understand why it takes so long. I understand that maybe the architecture of these two platforms are different. They're built differently, so they have to rebuild the entire system. But 6 months is quite a long time, you know.
Maybe he has to be busy with all the lawsuits and stuff before this.
I'm sure they can hire some people to, some extra people to do this kind of work, like contract some bunch of people out. But
6 months to apply something. That's true. So it's quite a long time also.
it is. Or maybe they're just committing it now and they're gonna dilly-dally, taking their own sweet time.
Yeah, I rather slow and steady than fast and furious.
Fast and furious.
kind of situation.
Perhaps.
So never mind. As long as it's good.
As long as it's coming.
Yeah.
As long as it's coming, I think it's not much of an issue.
Yep, correct.
Yep.
All right, so good luck, Instagram. Now, next up, LinkedIn launched somewhat competitor to Eventbrite. It is a feature that lets professionals host physical networking events. It can be of any size and magnitude, and this feature is free for now. We hope they go the route of Eventbrite by charging only a percentage of entry fees if available. Wow, meaning saying LinkedIn is gonna open another next branch.
Yeah, I think it's a very smart, and it's a service that makes sense for them.
Yeah.
Because they're already in the recruitment and the business professional thing, right?
Yeah.
They can actually branch out to the event, which doesn't take much additional effort.
Correct.
They already have the attention of all professionals anyway. And if they were to do that properly, even if they provide it for free, in exchange as like a value-added service to use LinkedIn, I think it really helps create a more holistic environment for professionals.
Yeah, correct. I agree also. It's like you don't have to. People don't really have to jump from app to app, and they just focus
Exactly,
on one.
yes. They can just do everything in one, and it becomes like the professional,
Facebook.
the social media for professionals.
Yeah, correct.
I think a few weeks ago we talked about it having this feature where, what was that feature again?
College lah. And stuff,
Yes,
academy.
the education part of it. So you have the education, and then you have the events, and
So to say YouTube lah.
exactly, yeah. So then you imagine you also host webinars and everything. So it's good. Because there isn't a single big social media that is actually doing this. It's all scattered everywhere. And if they become the social media that consolidates all these services that's already available everywhere, put it into one place.
Mhm.
It's like if you let people upload all the videos they want, all the webinars they want, they're not exactly competing with YouTube because it's a different group of people, right? YouTube is for entertainment. This is for professional.
Mm.
They can copy everything YouTube is doing, and they will still not be
Just
competing
apply
with
it.
YouTube. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe they take portion of the viewership to them instead of YouTube. I mean, somewhat still has
Maybe
a-
maybe a little bit, but I think majority on a bigger scale of it, I don't think YouTube will see them as a threat
Mhm.
because they are within that confines of professional.
Professional. It means
yeah,
more specialized
working-
and customized.
Yeah,
True. So
the
I mean,
working class anyway. Yeah,
yeah, it's a different. I was like, it's a different pie.
yeah, it is a different pie, or maybe a very like just a small slice
Niche
of,
market.
of the video pie. Yeah, it's a very niche market.
True. So.
And I like what how LinkedIn is going. And I think if they were to build a very good ecosystem, a successful one with under the stewardship of Microsoft, I think they can do very well.
Yeah, true. So then at least our phone don't have so many apps.
That is true.
I don't want any more apps.
That is true.
Thank you guys. No more e-wallet, no more apps. Please.
Oh,
Malaysia, you
e-wallets
gotta
is another
stop.
problem, right? E-wallets is another problem, right?
Tell you, Bank Negara, please do something.
The other day, I got a friend who went for an event, right? He said that the next step for e-wallet is this thing called a super app, where you have one app that manages all the e-wallets in Malaysia.
Please have
And
that.
actually, it doesn't work, it's not good. You know why? Because if you have one super app that manages all the e-wallets, that super app will monopolize.
it. Okay.
So technically, it's a double-edged sword. You have too many e-wallets. The problem is that you have too many apps. You don't know which one to focus, right? If you only have one or two, problem is that one or two will start to monopolize the entire market, like what Touch and Go is doing.
Okay, got it.
And so either way we lose. But I prefer to have multiple apps and a fragmented e-wallet, because if they compete with each other, we always get good
best service.
we always get good promos and things going
The
around.
best deals ever.
If they stop competing with each other, they will not give us these kind of things anymore.
Like Grab, right?
Like what Grab is doing. Exactly.
Ayo, I seriously tell you, my god.
Grab's price is not good.
No, now not at all.
No, not at all.
Just bad.
Yep. Anyway, moving forward, Zuck raises questions about China's internet censorship. It has been an unfair fight, to say the least, and I agree with Zuck. He says that American technology companies like Google and Facebook are not allowed into China, right? So they are unable to spread American vision of the internet and mass media. But the Chinese counterparts are spreading in the US like wildfires, like TikTok, bringing along their censorship and political agenda. Even large American corporations are kowtowing to China because of their economic potential. So, like, for example, right, there was this movie called Abominable, which is a new animation developed by DreamWorks and a Chinese studio. In that movie was an apparent attempt at spreading the Chinese imperialism by showing a map in which the disputed territories in South China Sea, right, actually belongs to China. So there is an area which is disputed by a few countries, including Malaysia and Vietnam, and I think the Philippines as well, and China. China wants to claim all that area to be theirs, but we still don't know what's going on yet, right? But in that movie, they made it as if it's all China. Their land. So if they continue to do this, and DreamWorks allow them to do this because they probably pay a lot of money, right? But if they continue to do this, right, they will use like a different way to claim the land is theirs. And even though politically they cannot own that land, but in the eyes of everyone who's watching all these movies,
they already
own the land.
Smart, huh?
Exactly.
Very scary of China.
Yeah. So
Chinese way of doing.
Speaking of which, right, yesterday I watched this Chinese movie called The Captain. Have you watched it?
I haven't yet.
It's actually a very good movie. It's based on a true story about a plane that took off, and then it got into a few. I don't want to spoil it for our listeners as well. It got into a few troubles, malfunctions, and everything like that, right? This plane was actually flying from Chongqing to Lhasa.
The iceberg one, is it?
Yeah.
Keep flying to make sure they don't drop into to the sea one, is it?
Not exactly based on the trailer because I watched the trailer and the trailer kind of sucked,
Oh,
and I didn't
okay.
want to watch it because of the trailer. But after a few of our friends
Recommended,
suggested us to watch because it was very good, so I decided, okay, I'll watch it and see. So there was a part of this. So Lhasa is part of Tibet, right? And politically, Tibet has always tried to claim its own freedom as a standalone country.
Mm-hmm.
But in that movie, it was very clear that there were Chinese flags all around Tibet.
Wow.
So it's that same kind of thing, that China is doing. What they do is they want to use mass media to actually brainwash or convince people that they already own these lands that they don't actually own. So countries that are also in dispute is Taiwan, which wants to be their own standalone country, and Hong Kong, which
Kong.
also wants to be their own standalone country. Tibet is also another one. So the thing here is that Zuck says that China's internet censorship is very unfair because they cannot go into China because China blocks it. But
China can come in.
but China can come in, and if Trump says no, we don't want these Chinese companies to come in, and the entire world goes crazy, and the trade war happens and everything like that. So he says that it's not fair because it creates this thing called it's called, what is it called again? Splinternet. Splinternet means, see, when you talk about internet, it means that the entire world has access to one singular internet
Correct.
with one singular regulation with the internet. A splinternet is where every country or every region has their own version of internet. If you go into that version, you can do this, you cannot do that. If you go somewhere else, you can do that, you cannot do this. Or Facebook will not be available all around the world. Google will not be available all around the world. That kind of thing, which is not good for the idea of internet.
The ideal usage of internet.
Yeah, the ideal usage.
This is spread free information.
Ideally, we want, yes, exactly, free information. We want it to be like
resources everywhere.
Yes.
And you
Accessed by
you
everyone.
judge yourself which resources you want.
Exactly, yes.
Instead of being controlled or monopolized or manipulated.
Some political agenda behind it, where all we want is just
I just want
free information.
internet. Yeah, it's like Mother Earth. It's free for all. Nobody owns anything at all.
No, we pay tax everywhere we go, okay?
To the people who are supposed to manage it
But
lah.
they're not doing it very well. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Land is supposed to be free for us.
Yeah.
God gave us the land. They didn't give it to the rich people so they can charge us for it.
Yeah. Right.
Right. We take a moment to thank our sponsor for this week.
Mm-hmm.
This week's episode of Social Media Weekly is brought to you by Chop Tiambi Cafe at the heart of Malacca, Malaysia. Chop Tiambi serves authentic Nyonya and fusion cuisines and is located at Jonker Street, just 5 minutes walk from famous Red Square and A Famosa in Malacca City. Their most iconic dishes include the curry laksa and nasi lemak. Also equally impressive are their range of homemade cakes like carrot cake, which uses pineapples instead of raisins, and onde onde cheesecake, which is a must try.
Mm-hmm.
Last week there was this magazine called CEO magazine or something that named Singapore the place that has the best street food in the
Oh my
world.
god. That's just wrong
I mean,
proclaim.
okay, if you guys think Singapore has good street food, you have to come to Malaysia. You
And
have to come to
try.
Malacca to try. And I also want to put a note that Thailand has amazing street food as well.
Yep.
Okay, so you come to Malaysia, we have Malacca is one of the places with one of the best foods. And if you do drop by Malacca, please come to Chop Tiambi. You will get 10% off of your entire receipt. No questions, no buts, no exclusions. Everything you order, one receipt, 10% off. You get it for promo code CTB10. That is CTB10. This weekend is Deepavali, so if you are dropping by to Malacca, please go over to Chop Tiambi, check it out. They have amazing murals as well, koi fish and all that. Very nicely done. Chop Tiambi, 10% off. Go there.
Alright, next up. Facebook expands Facebook Watch to Europe. Facebook Watch hasn't exploded like they hoped, but it is still growing steadily in numbers. They have been investing heavily in celebrity-led programming with American stars like Elizabeth Olsen and Jada Pinkett Smith, and are now looking to work with European counterparts. The few programs Facebook will work with publishers in the UK, France, Germany, Spain.
Spain.
What country is that?
Oops, my bad.
Alright,
Spain.
Spain and Italy include stars like Conor Maynard,
Maynard.
Ecofresh, Kim Gloss, La Perle, and more. The company hopes that local stores will help boost usage on Facebook Watch. Ambassadorship sort of
Have
thing.
you watched Facebook? Do you watch Facebook
I
Watch?
try and it just nah.
Why?
I can't get used to it. I still prefer the YouTube or
Okay.
it's just a user preference.
I think the content on Facebook Watch, it's like Facebook Watch tries to go longer form. But to me, if I were to watch on Facebook, it'll always be just 1 or 2 minutes.
Mhm.
Any longer, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And they try to do shorter ones, but they're still a little bit too formal for Facebook content.
They can't have.
I think.
They don't have a very unique standpoint.
I think
The
so too. Yeah.
USP.
Yeah.
They're just what are you?
Yeah.
kind of feeling.
I agree with you. And if I want to go for serious videos, I would rather go to YouTube and to get it. Actually, to be honest, right, there is an Instagram account called Business Insider.
Mm-hmm.
They managed to pull off their IGTV very, very well. I think they are spending a lot of money on all these episodes. They have this series called Why So Expensive? So expensive. So, and then I think that's the name of the series. It's not So Expensive or something. It picks out some of the most expensive food or things in the world, and they explain why is it so expensive.
Like the cardiac fish.
Like caviar,
caviar one,
why
is
are
it?
caviar so expensive?
I
Why
think I've
are
seen it before.
foie gras so expensive? And then there is another one that asks why is there is a brand of what is this called, winter cloth jacket called
Why is it
Canada Goose.
expensive?
Why is it expensive?
Yeah.
Then there's another one called Beyond Earth as well. It talks about going to the moon, space,
I think I did
space
see that.
stations and things like that. I think they spend so much money on it, and I don't know if others agree with me, but I think it's a very successful thing
For
that they're
IGTV,
doing.
is it?
For IGTV, they're doing very
The
well.
layout, I think, is catered for IGTV.
That is
also.
one of the only few IGTV shows that I'm actually still watching,
Mm-hmm.
because I think the content is good content.
Like legit and good
Yeah,
information,
proper,
properly curated,
legit content, yeah.
properly shot.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Business Insider were to repost the same content onto Facebook Watch and it does well as well. You can put it on Facebook Watch, IGTV, you can put it on YouTube as well, right?
I think in the end of the day, it's still the content.
Yeah.
The content
Yeah.
matters.
It really comes down to the content. And I think I don't know, but for me, instead of focusing so much on entertainment for entertainment's sake, maybe if you do a little bit more of like these kind of documentary stuff, shorter, not too long, short documentary, I think it works.
True. So never mind lah, since Facebook is already using, the celebrities to help them push.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
let's hope the celebrity can twist and rebrand Facebook
Yes.
Watch
Yeah.
properly.
That is true. Next up, Twitter considering 24-hour tweets. Tweets that only last 24. This is new to you, right? Just imagine this.
God.
Tweets that only last 24 hours and can be sent to close friends. What's there not to like? The greatest problem with Twitter is drunk tweets. You get drunk, you send something wrong, and then the next morning you wake up and the entire world blows up on you. Too many people has this problem.
I like it. So dramatic.
It's entertainment to you, right?
Yeah, it's like, what's new? Ooh,
Yeah.
that's new.
So if tweets are not permanent, there is a possibility that we will receive less negativity on the platform, less trolling and less, keyboard warriors going on us. But it also creates less responsibility with individuals as well. I don't know. What do you think?
Okay, given the fact that irresponsible users are gonna be there anyway, so even you put 24 or permanent, I think permanent tweet with an irresponsible user is gonna be worse.
I know, okay, think about this, right? Think about this. Now, Donald Trump has already used Twitter in a way that he's creating so much hate and saying so much stuff already, right?
Yeah.
Even with tweets that are permanent, he would tweet it out and then he gets like a few 100,000 retweets and then he deletes it and he says he never said this before,
Uh-huh.
right? imagine if this only lasts 24 hours, imagine what else stuff that he will actually say out. And how he will not take responsible for the things that he will not take responsibility for the things that he says.
Okay.
And I think of all the platforms that social well, I'm just trying to argue one point, right? I think of all the social media platforms that are going very ephemeral now, that is very temporary, I think Twitter has the responsibility of maintaining that permanence and that responsibility, and that when you go into Twitter and you read something, you want it to be true in a way. And in order for it to be true, it has to be permanent, because whoever who comes up with a tweet must be accountable for what they say, right?
Yep.
I mean, like,
Yeah. It's not
in
just
that way.
words.
it's not just words that you know that will disappear.
True. That's one point to think about also.
Yeah.
So it's just, I guess Twitter just wants to balance things. Like I since I cannot control mine, let's minimize it by using 24
Yeah.
hours. You know,
Yeah,
I can't
I-
control Donald Trump,
I-
so
I really feel bad for Twitter because they are struggling as a brand because they have become such a responsible platform. Like, responsible in a way that they're reluctant, they don't want to be responsible
for Donald Trump.
for Donald Trump stuff or for all the journalism stuff and everything. And yet they have to be, because they have really evolved into that kind of platform.
When greater power comes great responsibility.
I know, right?
It's just like you giving birth with a child law, and if the child turns out to be like Donald Trump, what to do?
Yeah. No, I discussed with a friend before. I said, how will Twitter live on in the future, right? Because as a company, the company is not making money, right? It has to come up with new stuff to make money. But as a platform, it liberated so many countries. It created so many, like all the Arab Springs and everything, right? And Hong Kong used Twitter to stage all these protests. Malaysia used Twitter to stage our protests as well. And it's actually good for society, good for freedom of speech. But as a business, it's not good. So I think Twitter needs to evolve from a company owned by private people
To IPO.
not IPO, but into like an organization that is that
NGO one.
an NGO. Yes, to be
Since
an
they're not profiting
NGO.
anyways.
Yes, to be an NGO that's funded by all the countries in the world,
To use it.
and they have to run in a very unbiased manner.
Yeah. Since their business nature is towards there, because they're not
Yes.
profiting anyway.
Yeah, they're not profiting anyway, so might as well transform themselves into an NGO.
Yeah.
And
It's useful
for the purpose of
society.
freedom of speech, for society to stage a coup against the corrupt government if they have to, and speak their mind if they have to.
Then it comes to maybe one thing is because when it comes to NGO, quality is not very assured. To maintain the quality of Twitter.
It is true. You can't be changing stuff. You can't be doing a lot of upgrades. You just have to keep it as what it is, just a platform, a neutral platform, for people to do whatever they want to do.
Yeah. But Twitter, sucks to be you.
I know, right? It sucks to be you. Seriously, everybody in
feel
Silicon
you.
Valley is saying the same thing.
We feel you. It's okay, there, right? Just know that you're doing good. You're going to heaven.
You have thumbs up from us.
All right, next up, Facebook removes grey tick for pages. Facebook pages that are verified with certain details are now given grey ticks. But Facebook is removing this feature because most people get confused with the grey and blue ticks. It also allowed some pages to impersonate official company profiles because it isn't difficult to get that grey tick.
Have you seen grey ticks before?
No.
I've never seen grey ticks before. So I don't know, maybe it's not
What's a grey tick?
implemented. It's like you know how some accounts, some brands have the blue tick at the corner? Like a blue color tick. That means it's verified. It's like
Like this circle is
yeah, it's circle with a tick in the
Instagram with
middle.
a tick one,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Same thing.
It's so grey that I didn't even notice.
Yeah. So apparently there are grey ticks as well, which I don't understand. But I'm glad they're taking it away because
we don't even know that.
we don't even know it exists.
Good that you KonMari it.
I know.
Clean
That's good.
it up.
So for pages who are still striving for that grey tick, you don't have to anymore. So let me just explain to everyone what's the difference between the blue tick and the grey tick, right? So blue tick is you need to be a grey tick and more. You need to also be a known brand. That means like you have to be like McDonald's or Tim Hortons or Burger King or whatever, like really big brands, in order to get a blue tick.
Mhm.
But a grey tick is easy. All you need have to do is maybe they have like a checklist of 5 things. You need to verify that your company has a physical address or Sdn Bhd or whatever it is. As long as you
Pages
provide
lah.
these few things, then you're done. It's kind of like as easy as setting up a Google My Business.
Mhm.
But blue tick is different. Blue tick is like it's provided to you by Facebook.
Oh, okay. It's like you're being recognized.
You're
so
being
to say.
recognized
The
as
engagement
the
is
place.
constantly very high for
Yes,
the
and
past
you're
6
one of like
months.
Fortune 500 company, or you're like a very super staff influencer, or you make
Which
these
have
kind
the
of
blue
things.
tick, okay.
Yeah. Then you get a blue tick. So by removing the gray tick, companies don't have to actually strive for it anymore, which is
Yeah,
to me it's
because
not,
I think
not an
it's
issue.
people don't recognize this grading. People don't even know grading.
Yeah, people don't even know gray tick exists. And
So
one more thing which is true as well, because it allows some pages to impersonate official, like for example, some Tom, Dick, or Harry can just create another virtual peddlers and then just put a gray tick there, and then they'll be like, okay, which is which, right? So
confuse people.
yeah, and it's bad for smaller companies because smaller companies are not worried about the gray ticks, and they focus more on providing services for their clients and using social media as a platform for what. And if another impersonating company comes in and gets the gray tick,
Mm-hmm.
then the original one will not get it.
True. Cause confusion.
Yeah, it causes confusion.
All right.
All right, next up, Facebook's new page metrics will cause your numbers to drop. This is very important for advertisers and for businesses who have been running ads on Facebook. Your metrics will drop, but it's not because your performance is dropping, it's because the algorithm has changed. From now until October 28, all reach calculations on Facebook pages will be reconfigured. They will filter repeated organic page impressions. This means the same person who visits your Facebook page multiple times will only be counted as one, not many. So before this, every time I organically go to a same Facebook page, every time I go in there, the ticker will
Tick one.
tick once. So there is duplication of my visit
Mm-hmm.
from the same IP. But now it will only be counted as one. This also means your page impression count will likely drop a lot next month onwards, provided if, let's say, if you focus on existing clientele or existing followers or existing audience. So existing audience means that your impression is very high, which means that your count will drop a lot next month. If you are constantly looking for new people with the impression which is lower, then the drop will not be so significant.
True.
It's not bad because it's now more accurate. But if you are an agency, your clients will start make noise and you have to tell them that this is what's going on. And if you're a business, your service provider is not suddenly show a drop in reach. It's not because they're not performing. It's just because Facebook changed the algorithm. Yeah.
Don't leave this kind of thing.
You know lah, Facebook always like that one what.
You know like client,
Yeah.
they will not listen one lah.
You know what?
This number is always constant to them. The
Exactly.
algorithm didn't change
Yeah.
since 2008.
Yeah, exactly. We have this client, right, who we've been managing for a very long time, right, their Facebook account, even before I think 2018 or 2017 one where they changed the algorithm of Facebook page, where Facebook page will not get the reach that they used to get.
Mm-hmm.
And until today, they're still asking, why is it that their reach is so bad? And when we explain that they have to pay money to boost all the posts, they think that we're trying to con their money.
Oh well, when something change, it's not the algorithm, it's the quality of our service. You know that mindset.
Yeah, exactly. So
No lah, it's
my
not
God.
algorithm. Facebook didn't change the algorithm.
So
it's your quality that reduces.
even when we copy and paste Facebook's report announcement for it, they just go too long, don't read. So,
or
yeah,
they think that we are trying too hard to explain ourselves.
Yeah.
So sometimes, stressful for us.
Yes, it's very difficult to be a social media practitioner.
So gloomy, just like the weather.
Right. Okay. That's all for Social Media Weekly this week. Social Media Weekly podcast is available on Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. And before we end, we would like to wish everyone happy Deepavali. Sunday is Deepavali.
Yep. So Monday's a holiday? for
Monday
you
is a holiday for us here in Malaysia. So happy Diwali to everyone. The Festival of Lights. Okay, I'm continuing. Our full videos are available on YouTube and we post bits and clips on Instagram and Facebook. This is Social Media Weekly Podcast, episode 24, October 2019. My name is Sean.
And I'm JK.
Au revoir.
May the lights be with you.
Wow, I like that.